everyone, my name is Chris Farah. Welcome to Vanity Farah. By the way, have you been watching the fact that two brand new bald eagles are amongst us? Honey, they're so cute. I'm so happy. The chicks have been hatched. It's Jessica and Shadow's children. They did a great job. Again, one gets to be named Shadow, obviously the man, and one's Jessica, like baby Jessica. Anyway, today we're talking, don't worry, not about that. It's about 90 Day, The Single Life. We're in season 5. It's episode 9, The Act of Monkey Barring. Now, if you're watching this right now, if you're literally watching me talk, you're like, girl, boy, is your makeup different. And I'm like, yeah, guess what? I'm giving Vanya. I've been talking shit and talking trash about her makeup. And the thing about it is I don't want to yuck everyone's yum. It's just that Vanya, I think that like color theory wise, would be great if she had a professional person look at her coloring and also just like make sure that things are blended well, because she has really blue eyes and sometimes that heavy purple that she loves just kind of distracts from that. Whereas, weirdly enough, if you have dark chocolate brown eyes like yours truly, they tell you purple actually looks good with it. I don't wear a lot of purple eyeshadow, and thus here you go. I'm wearing purple eyeshadow. I'm wearing pink eyeliner and like pink eyeshadow underneath, and I'm wearing bright ass pink lipstick. It's the full mermaid special, honey. Spring has sprung, mostly on my face. I'm excited to talk to you about The Single Life. It's interesting. There's been for sure relationship drama between the people on The Single Life, but it's like what I thought was going to be about people dating multiple people hasn't actually happened yet. It's so interesting. I don't know why I thought it was like people who are single but like actively dating, because it's like they could also just call this life and then we wouldn't be focused on them dating or whatnot. They wouldn't have to think about if they're single or they're married or they're taken or if they're in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, whatever, girlfriend, whoever knows. But it's the fact they call it single life that I just assumed it'd be like, I'm going on a date with this person here. I'm going on a, date with this person there. I'm talking to this person now and all that stuff. But it's just life. It's just 90 Day Life, I guess is what it should be called. However, let's get into Julia, Sophie, and Liz. Now, you know how I feel about this. I've made it clear. I wonder if, don't worry, the Bengals are on. So that's what you're hearing. Sophie, I'm assuming, went on this show and was like, I'm going to showcase this body yaddy, and I'm going to like have curly hair, and I'm going to look hot as hell, and I'm going to be the envy of every girl and like the apple of every guy's eye. But the truth of the matter is Sophie has let her personality show a lot during this, and it's insufferable. She is a mean girl. She's very vain, very vapid. She only cares about male attention. She does not care about anything else. She'll just, like make a huge, horrible experience for Liz, who's also like a 90 Day cast member, is battling cancer and is on this girls trip. And the producers just decided to have Julia come just to be like some weird yes girl to Sophie, like wannabe like hot popular girl. Julia has also like showed her ass so horribly in this. I mean, both these girls' personalities are like intolerable. And at the same time, Liz is like a saint. Liz is so awesome. And Liz's relationship that she just met and also had sexual chem with Villa is like 100% more engrossing and interesting than anything they've shown with Sophie. I mean, it's just Sophie is fake, like everything about it. I don't believe her relationship with Pedro. I don't want to like hear her talk. All of her reasonings for why she's done what is not it for me. And it makes me sad. And Julia makes me sad. I'm going to get into it. So obviously we're on this girls trip and they're now waiting to hang out with Liz, who they haven't seen in a long time. And we haven't also been keeping up with her for some reason. I wish we had. Sophie is waiting to talk to Liz and sort of has this look that like I feel like perfectly encapsulates what you usually see when Sophie is in a room with you. Someone who is pissed and is pursing her lips in such a way where you're like, those don't have any room left in them for anything. Like the skin on her lips are stretched so intensely that it is actually incredibly painful to look at it. Like, I'm not saying it's painful to look at her face because it's so ugly. I am saying it's painful to look at her face because an empathetic soul will feel the tightness and be like, no, why would you do that to yourself? It's going to migrate and everything. Sophie really needs to get off the fucking TV and then like do some soul searching, because as she's getting older and as we sort of like know, the trauma that she's dealt with like a crazy ass Claire mom, who she decides that Claire is like not crazy, I guess, this season, when she says such things like, my mom would never get in our relationship in between my relationship with someone else. It's like, it's like, I do feel bad for Sophie, but at the same time, there's like a lot of other things in this world to feel bad for. So I'm just not quite sure I can tolerate her anymore. Can you tell? Liz fully is like, these girls are mean girls. And I like want to hug her through the TV and be like, yeah, we know. Why? I wish the producers had given you a friend to go on the show with too. Like, you should have had your own friend to be on this resort with. It's really shitty that they had like a Julie and a Sophie just like hook up, and then you, God bless, knowing what we like know that you are dealing with, like just had to be by yourself there. I wish I was on this fucking trip. Not really, because I don't know what I would do to, like, I would really tell off Sophie. I'd be like, how fucking dare you? I mean, truly, can you imagine? Anyway, God bless. So Sophie apologizes by saying, like she was just really sorry if she just looked emotional. And I feel like they just really honestly had this like scene just to have Sophie have an ability to recount what we just watched, which was that, Pedro's family hates her and she hates them. And then also she's like, guess what? Met this other guy on social media. I was just, running through the men around in the area and I found this guy. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't run through the dating apps, all of them, when I'm away from my home. But I'm going to give this a thing. I'm alone. I know that there are people that the minute that they go to a new location on vacation or whatever, like they cannot wait to open up whatever it is, Hinge, Raya, whatever, and like see who's in the area. And I think there's a time and a place for it. It's just, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, you're in this beautiful resort with your friends. And like, that's not enough for you. The male attention isn't hitting. So you're like, what else is around here? And you're like, fine, people online. But I think that maybe there's another part of me that I have to understand. Maybe it's like, we're young and we want to party, and like, it's fun to party with people that are locals. Okay. Yeah. It's so funny. It's just not my bag. I think that when I go to like a new locale, like if I was at a resort, I would just be so into resorting and relaxing, and then just like somewhat maybe organically meeting people if I wanted that to happen, or just like hanging out at the bar or whatever, or just going around to the locals. I don't know if I necessarily like swipe to get there, but at the same time, I am going to give this part grace. It could be a generational thing. So the worst part of this scene is when Julia says, it's not a girls' trip unless people fight. It's fine now. We all are friends, but don't even worry, because it wouldn't even be a girls' trip unless there was like massive arguments. Now, let's talk about this. That's toxic. No, you can easily, and I mean this, have girls' trips, especially if there's only 3 of you, where you don't fight. Sure, when you're in your 20s and you have someone get like, a bachelorette trip somewhere and there's like 17 girls and you haven't met 9 of them because they're from your friends' other friends groups, and you're like, I don't know. Maybe, yes, things can happen because people have to pay money, and who wants to pay this and who wants to sleep where, like, right? You can those fights happen. But to say that like every girl's trip ends in a fight or like has a fight in it when there's three of you is just trash behavior. And I mean that. If you have three friends and you go on a girls' trip and you always get in fights, there's a problem there and it's one of your friends. If them alone or you can include yourself. It's just, why does that annoy me? It annoys me because it puts on girls or femininity or like females the kind of like trashy behavior that we can't get along or that we are petty or that we bicker or like there's like drama like that. And the truth is only for certain people, only for like emotionally really immature, like insecure, vapid people for sure. Because even when I said what I said, like, oh, you might have friends you don't want to like deal with or whatnot, it's like, yeah, you have an emotional maturity to be like, I'm not going to see this person again. I'm just going to grin and bear it. And the other half of it is if you have, your own, let's just say wants and desires, like you want to sleep in your own bed or, you want this or that. It's kind of easy to be like, oh, I'm just going to make sure that's happening for me. Either I pay for myself, I'll meet you guys there. Like I set up the thing. But yeah, I think that to really consider a girls' trip in a way where it's a bunch of kind of whiny women, a lot of females wouldn't consider that a go. And I think that Julia probably is the type that like, he'll hang out with a toxic girl, obviously. And Sophie's like, every one of my trips ends this way. Mm-hmm. Okay. So whatever, I don't know. Next scene is that they're doing water aerobics. Now, this part is what I make sense of at the resort. They're having like resort activities. We're going to see actually 2 resort activities, which is the best part of this whole story for this episode. These water aerobics look so much fun. Everyone is like dancing and I'm like, oh my God, get me to a hotel. And then they also have on the docket dancing, like dance lessons. Ugh. Girl, they're going to do bachata. And then at one point you think that like, Kara's going to come out, maybe sing. She loves singing the music of her husband's people. Wow. Anyway, here's the other thing. Liz has been dating someone like before she got to the DR, and she, doesn't know how to handle it. And it's kind of like a confusing sit. She's like, I met this guy and we're dating and he wants to be like BFF. Sorry. He wants to be boyfriend, girlfriend with me. And I said, no, I got to be single. I'm not usually single. And then I come on this girls trip and I meet, Via and I'm like really into him and I don't know what to do now. So now I have to like tell Via that like, I have someone else at home. And I'm like, no, you don't. Why? What's Liz's end goal? I mean, Liz, okay, well then we'll get into that. So then it's confusing to me, and then it gets even more confusing because it's kind of like, are you saying that you want to be with the guy at home? Because if you don't want to be with the guy, at your home, why do you have to tell Via you were hanging out with someone before you even met him? If you want to be with the guy at home, you don't really have to tell Villa anything except, I got to go home in 2 days, buddy. It's been fun. And then I guess confess to the other guy, the one you really like at home, that like you met someone and that, like, but not even then. You would just be like, I told you I was single and I'm going to come back. She comes back from this DR either being single or not single. If she's not single, she's done no wrong to either Via or whoever this Alec guy is. Because she's not committed to either one. She's just a young girl out, she can make the choice to commit and therefore, yeah, put her 10 toes down on the sand next to some dude. But I don't think there has to be this like guilty, like, what have I done? And then, the entire episode's called The Act of Monkey Barring, which I guess also is supposed to be like Sophie from Pedro to this new social media guy, But the truth of the matter is, if I was to take all of this at their word, Pedro cannot assume that he is going to have a night like that with his mom and his sister, and that any woman's going to stick around and like be like, I'm still down for you. So if this is real, and if he really thought that Sophie was not going to be dating anyone else after that fucking shit show, then he should learn a lesson. Also, the lesson should be, if you really want to change your life, you have to like start changing your behavior, which means the boundaries you have with your parents and the people that you pick. Okay. So, back at the dance lessons, which now I'm like, take me to some dance lessons. I absolutely need to like do some partner dancing. I've never done partner dancing. I've never done salsa. I've never done merengue. And I think that I'd be really good. Why? Because I can move my hips really well. I mean, I can't move my butt. That's really upsetting to me. The amount of times, I mean, you don't know, but you can imagine the sadness I felt over the multitude of times I've tried to learn how to twerk. And it's really sad. It's non-existent. It's like, it's making a whale paint. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, how would that work? But my hips, honey, my hips don't lie, because of the belly dancing or whatever. And so I think that I'd be good at like that kind of Latin dancing. Anyway, here I go. So basically then Liz is like, has the conversation where she's like, I'm dating someone and, back home, which is confusing because he's like, oh, I didn't expect that. And it's like, well, you probably did expect her to be dating someone at home. You just didn't expect her to think that it's that important to tell you. Because again, what's Liz's end goal? If her end goal is to be with Alec, then she never has to tell Via anything. She's just like, it was fun. I just got to get home. I live at home and I don't know if this is going to be able to continue. She never has to bring up Alex's name. Now, if she wants to be again with Via, then she doesn't have to tell Via about Alec because he was just someone that she dated before she even met Villa. So she would just be like, well, yeah, I mean, I was hanging out with that guy, but he's no you. So if you can get yourself to America or if I can get my ass to DR permanently, then like, fuck that guy. And if she wants to be single, then she's just single. The only person she has to, I guess, be accountable for or is herself, and also just the cleanliness of her street and communication. So that's what it is. It's like, if Liz wants to not be with Villa, she doesn't have to be like, it's because I'm dating this other guy, Alex. She could just be like, it's been so lovely to meet you. Like, I didn't assume that I was going to go on this girls trip and have like fun with my single girlfriends and meet someone. I don't know. It's not right timing. I don't live here. You live, in a different country. And I just don't know with my cancer and also me being on a popular reality show, if I can make it work long term. But it's been a pleasure spending time with you and getting to know you, because the truth of the matter is, I mean, unless Villa has been like, oh my God, marry me, please tell me you'll marry me, come here. Unless he's always just been like, do not spend any more time with me unless you are 100% my wife. I mean, what's been the wrong? Okay. Also, like, has he talked to Pedro at all about what happened with Sophie? Wouldn't you think that you would want that conversation, like almost like Summer Nights again, like he said, she said, like, because obviously have Sophie, Julia, and Liz reunited just to talk about that shitty night. But we met Villa because he's a friend of Pedro. So why hasn't Pedro been like, Villa, let me fucking tell you what's been happening. Mom hates her. She called my mom fucking. She said, you're fucking mom. Nicole fucking hates her, but Nicole hates everyone, Okay, let's move on to my makeup inspiration and yours, Vanya. Okay, Vanya. Honey, let me tell you right now, Vanya's cousin Sanella has great taste in apples. Don't even worry. First shot, a basket of fruit. And you can maybe tell she's put out like a little continental breakfast for the guests. It's lemons, it's oranges, it's peaches, and again, envy apples. Ugh, I'm obsessed with envy apples. That Fiji, that's it for me. I don't mind an opal, but my goodness, envy apples like somewhat took over the Southern California apple game, and it's like everywhere, and you can get them organic or not. They are so yummy. They look like Gala apples, but they're better. Anyway, a lot of apple talk. How do you like them apples? I like them a lot. So she had teased us about this big thing that Tony had done before they had gotten to her cousin's house and how like that was really, really shitty. And we're like, oh my God. Now remember, Tony had the audacity to just like sit down with her cousin who he's in her home and she has laid out, envy apples for him. And she basically had just been like, hey, what's your intentions with my cousin? That asshole got up, turned around and was like, she fucking attacked me. She attacked me. It was a full on assault. I was assaulted. what the fuck are you talking about? How dare you? There's people that are assaulted all the time. It's definitely not you, buddy, your sweaty ass self in some red car being assaulted by this lady on a couch across the way from you who's invited you to her home. Are you insane? But the thing about it is, I do think he's insane. And I think the thing that makes me sad for Vanya is that she is so insistent on having a relationship with anyone that she like didn't realize that he has horrible vibes and energy because she is not present or sitting in her like self to witness it, or she's so preoccupied and distracted by the want of a man or whatever that she like didn't get that, oh, I don't know, that the motherfucker had been married only for like 8 months and he's 55. Is, you know, like what there were red flags. And this is going to be annoying to me because she's going to start to be like, every time I date someone, they change. And it's like, no, you aren't listening and you are not paying attention to what they're doing because your agenda is too loud. Just like, babes, the eyeshadow's too much. And I mean that, like, if the eyeshadow was less, if your like loud need to like lock someone down was a tiny bit less, I think that you would have the ability to feel and sense and see and hold space for what is actually there and more important. For instance, her beautiful blue eyes. That's why she needs to tone down the makeup. And also her incredibly human desire to be loved and to be in a relationship that's healthy and good for her. If she could just tone down the desperation, that loudness, like the other one, the actual like real, it's like a piece of lint, just dust, just dust dancing in my home. She'd be able to, I think, get a quality relationship. Okay. So, and dear God, let that happen for us all. So, the thing that she is upset about is that when she was getting her like permanent makeup done, I guess Tony was like asking her questions or called her, but like, she was on the operating table for like, I'm assuming an hour and a half to 2 hours. And he like couldn't stand it. So when she called him back, he was like really mad that she hadn't reached out to him. And then he hung up on her and she found that to be wildly disrespectful. She's not wrong. It is. It is. Also this, I have a best friend, first cousin. I love all my first cousins. So any of them could have been this person. Let's just say it was my cousin Monique. If I went to my cousin Monique's house for my birthday and brought some dude that I had just started dating, and that my cousin Monique was like, I'm going to talk to him. And I have told her things. And if in the same vein, she was like, what are your intentions with my cousin Chrissy? Because she calls me Chrissy, and it's anyone pre-high school can do that. If if whatever dude I was dating had the reaction, which is that my cousin Monique had assaulted him, A, that'd be one thing, but B, my cousin wouldn't allow me to be fucking with this person anymore. Like, I think that like the minute that person stormed out and was weird and was like sweaty and like went to bed in my family's home and then didn't answer a question. I mean, first of all, we'd be like, go to bed. And then she would have to like stare at me for 10 minutes until I acquiesced, shook my head, and got him forcibly removed from the home. There's just no coming back from that. There's no like cousin that'll be like, you can be with him. I know that the moment that happens, that my family won't let me be with that person because they love me and like they don't want an asshole around. Like a disrespectful, weird asshole would not be allowed to be in the presence of me anymore. And same. I can't even imagine. Same thing. If Monique had brought some person that was like, she was really interested in, it's her birthday, she's at my house, and she has like, showed me or told me like some stuff that she question about his behavior. And if she was like afraid to, ask him, but for some reason I wasn't. And I did. And he had that reaction. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, buddy, don't go to bed. Just get back in your fucking car and get the fuck out of here. And if you ever message my cousin again, Lebanese mafia, well, you'll be dead. We'll kill you. Sorry. Bye. Anyway, it's hard. So he didn't sleep well. And then, he's like, feels ganged up on and alone. Good. You should. They decide to go paddle boarding by themselves. Cause like her cousin's like, I'm not going with you. And they go out there and then the paddle boarder people. And I mean, this is hilarious. It's very, very like blue skies. Like it's a beautiful day. And they're like, you know what? There's going to be like thunders and raining. It's going to absolutely be like lightning very, very soon. We're not going to let you guys go out. And they're like, oh. So they just have to like mope around this beach. It's so depressing. He's like, I hate not being in control. I hate it when plans change. And it's like, well, you're going to get mad at the weather then, asshole? If you are that controlling and if you're that upset, if some plans change, how come we didn't see you lose your fucking shit on that woman? I will be paddleboarding, bitch. No, fuck the weather. I don't care. My plan was I'm going to paddleboard with Vanya and I really am a controlling asshole. And so whatever I want happens. Like, nope. Oh, it's hard. Anyway, so basically Vanya does one great smart thing, which is that she's pissed about the whole situation and he is just like acting like a victim. And she's like, no, bitch, I'm the victim. You hung up on me. And she starts crying. And then she's like, I think that you're a weird asshole. And I kind of like this because I wonder if Tony did this thing where Tony was like, I don't know if I want to be in a relationship. I don't know if I want to be in a relationship. And then, like Vanya's like, obsessed with him seemingly. And then it's like, I want to be in a relationship. Please, please, please. And then he's like, okay. And then the minute it happened, she's like, I don't know if I can do this. I feel like it probably emotionally throws him off and that makes me happy. He's weird. There's a reason why he's been single this whole time. He has issues. It's not just like, the sweat glands. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Gino. So Gino's driving Natalie around and they say they need a nightcap. They're coming hot off of like Uncle Marco's, like great experience with Natalie, except for the fact when he was like, you guys want to have kids? And Natalie's like, I do. I actually have two. They're 39 and 47. Do you want to meet them? Just kidding. So, it gets horrible fast when she's like, yeah, Gino and I, have been dating for a while. And even though we have some sexual chem, it hasn't gotten physical yet. And we're like, thank God. Okay. So then he gets home, honey, to his house. This feels like a different house than the one with Jasmine. Okay. He puts his Jansport backpack down right in the foyer. And then he gets the Crown Royale, honey. He pours 2 nightcaps. There's a spiral staircase. Natalie sits down on a couch and they drink and they kiss. And then she says, I'm tired and I want to go to bed. And she was like, what? Why? And she's like, no, bitch. Pick up what I'm putting down. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. And then we get the whole thing how he's like, oh, I haven't had sex in a year and a half because I couldn't just have sex with someone who's yelling at me all the time. And we're like, oh, well, then why did you try and get with someone who was like too hot for you and only wanted your money all because you wanted a sugar baby? Why don't you, I don't know, try and get with someone who actually likes you or, like genuinely could tolerate you for a long period of time if you were not on a television show. And that's not Natalie. And, that was a choice he's never made. Okay. Courtney and Colt. So you guys, this was the worst one. He misses Courtney, Colty. And obviously Debbie is long gone. Debbie just like flew in, got on her scooter, was like, I don't want to have to deal with my son. So that she tried to talk Courtney into like dealing with her son more. And Courtney was like, absolutely fucking not. Get back on your broom, honey. Go back to Canada. I don't have to tell you, fly up. So then Debbie does. And then now we're back. Mrs. Courtney has her on his phone as wallpaper, calls Courtney. She, thank God, doesn't answer. He's like, Court, are you okay? Just want to let you know. I just want you to, call me back. It's so manipulative and so like, yeah, I'm just calling to see if you're okay. Please contact me to tell me if you're okay. And it's like, my God, if I were her, I would just like send him a pic, honey. Just you like sitting on some new great dick, working dick. Anyway, so he decides to FaceTime Diana, who looks just like the biddy that he was with before, his wife. What is he of a type? He loves like a red-haired Brazilian, young-faced lady with glasses. I mean, wild. So, Diana was someone he was talking to before Hunt for Love. And then, of course, he goes on Hunt for Love, meets Courtney, and he was like, well, I loved you before, but then I never had met you. But now I love Courtney. I mean, I love both of you. And then he's like, do you still want me to come to Brazil? How? You have no money, A. You can't even walk. You are just trying. You are like, the act of monkey barring is honestly, it's cold. He is trying so hard just to get another woman to take care of him. Yeah, like, are you really thinking that she's going to take care of you in Brazil? You have nothing. I mean, really wildly, the idea that Colty doesn't understand that he has to get a fucking job and have like some semblance of like of responsibility over his own life, or I don't know, get to a walk-in first that's psychotic. He literally is like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm like, no shit. So figure that out. You're 49. Not really. He's not 49, but I mean, he's not young. Time to figure it out. Definitely not time to hop on a flight to Brazil. How do you even have that money? I mean, God bless. So then he's insane. At one point he goes, I want her back. And the producers are like, which one? And he's like, yeah, I know. I think when he says that, there's a part of him that likes it. I think there's a part of him that's like, I got nothing going for me. But I love the fact that like this whole time on 90 Day Fiance, there's just always somehow been one lady fucking with me. So I win. Like, it's kind of like a weird, I guess it's, you know what it is? Colty and Sophie are not far off from each other. I mean, obviously Sophie has way more sex appeal, right? And so she has like better suitors or whatnot, truly. But when I'm talking about the utter need people have to be wanted and be in a or be wanted by someone, to feel like the sexual chem and vibes of someone who's like flirting with them that they're interested in. Like that seems kind of similar for both of them. And both of them will like ruin, their lives, multiple lives to like feel it. Hot take. Would anyone say that? Find the podcast that's like Colty and Sophie, same person. You won't. And that's why you're listening. However, thank you so much for doing so. Shorter episode, I guess. We got through everyone. Goodness gracious. So if you want more of me, you absolutely can. First of all, give me 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts, specifically for my makeup in this episode alone. You can be watching on my Patreon if you wanted to get this visuals before anyone else. It's extra. I think it's $5 right now. It's so cheap. It might go up later, or I might add more tiers. I'm going to add more tiers and more things coming. And I really appreciate that, including a whole new series. In fact, Love on the Spectrum, which premiered on Netflix season 4. Episode 1 is going to go live on my RSS feed. Episode 2 that I did a collab with Psych Legal Pop podcast is going live on their RSS feed. And so that's episodes 1 and 2, and the rest of the episodes will be on my Patreon only. Thank you so much for supporting me any way you can. And honestly, it doesn't have to be Patreon. Just showing up, listening, giving me 5 stars. Of course, following me on social medias. I'm at Chris L. Farah on Instagram, on TikTok, honey. Got a Substack, got a Patreon. I have a Facebook group. It's called Vanity Farah. I have my page, Chris Farah, on Facebook. And finally, there's that YouTube. So thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I will tell you that this has been like such a great year for me so far, 2026. Like, I love it. So many amazing things have happened. I've gotten to rediscover my love of improv and sketch, and I'm like doing a lot of fun comedy things in Los Angeles and performing more, and that means a lot. I'm excited to kind of remount 2 shows coming up that I've done previously. I'm going to do a second version of my one-person show, Lebanese Debutante, and I'm going to remount another fun fancy show who is my drag character. On top of that, I've moved, and this is the room that I'll be performing. This will be the room that I get to podcast in. I'm going to put it together in a very super cute way. I'm going to have my own podcast studio. What a gift. And yeah, I've been so like blessed with like lots of fun family and friends time. So, but mostly I cannot tell you how appreciative I am that people have supported Vanity Fair the way they have. Like, I could cry about it. I've gotten so many amazing comments. I've gotten so many loving, like text messages. I've had like fun guests on. I am so wildly thankful for people responding to me positively. And I'm so honored by that. And I want to be able to give more. So the way I want to give more is just like getting all my ducks in the row, making sure that like when I get to upgrade certain aspects of podcasting and YouTubing and recapping, I get to really move forward. So brand new studios coming with like fun visual moments, and I will be building up the Patreon and also going back to a weekly live schedule on YouTube as well. Other than that, I don't mean to like, give myself a big head, but also I've been somewhat killing it on like TikTok and Instagram. So there are fun little minute, 2-minute videos talking about, the shows we watch. So make sure that you are into whatever social media and or vibe and or, Chris Farroness you want. It all exists though. All right. 2 breaths. 2 breasts. Put your feet on the floor, honey. Give me your heart open. Let's spend some moments just breathing together and being like, wow, we did it. All right, my loves. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. And happy spring. I hope you had a good Easter and a good Passover. Orthodox Easter is coming up. And I'll talk to you later, right? Mm-hmm.